It doesn't matter if you get what you want or you don't get what you want. It still equals unfulfillment. That's the gathering of the power. That's the gathering of taking the teaching and living it and using it as a powerful means for your freedom. In freedom, it doesn't matter if the next experience is unfulfilling or the previous one was pleasurable or it disappears altogether. There's no unconscious loyalty to any of it. So what you actually feel is free. Free from the implications of experience. So being free and whatever arises in experience doesn't spoil your sense of being happy or your mood or your ability to love and be present. It doesn't spoil any of that. So being a very powerful person on the path is taking what you have learned from the instruction and the teaching about experience and living your own experience and saying, no matter what you do, whether you get what you want or you don't get what you want, you're not fulfilled in experience. So you bring up what's your unconscious loyalty to it, your unconscious emotional, bondage to that idea, to the idea that you can get fulfilled. And you begin to break up that emotional loyalty to that idea that I can get fulfilled in experience. So the wisdom of experience and the wisdom of the teaching combine to give you that power to recognize what you know is already true. And so then, instead of being sad or up and down, or sometimes happy and sometimes excited and sometimes sad and depressed, you're not, anything in experience doesn't spoil your mood because you're free. You're already free. That's the deal. It feels like this is so in you, so long, so deep down there, before you were reasonable about anything, before you were intelligent about experience, you were given, and you believed this idea, like there really is a Santa Claus. You believe this idea that there really is fulfillment. And then when you went about experience, you notice that if I'm smart enough, I'll figure out how to do my survival correctly. If I'm smart enough, I'll meet somebody and we can have a reasonably good experience together, Nothing can be perfect, but it can be doable and satisfactory. But you also want it to be the unconscious part, the emotional loyalties to this idea. Not only can it be reasonable and satisfactory, it has to be fulfilling. See? That's where you lose all your power. So you generate a certain amount of power for meditation or practice or realization, but it all becomes corrupted or falls away because you haven't dealt with this emotional, unconscious feeling that you're loyal to. Being very powerful would be to what? To be able to see the unconscious, make it conscious. That's why I give the instruction. I tell you actually what to look for. So it's not a secret. It's not hidden to you, and it's not affecting you. So you can say, okay, person of power has given me the instruction about what to look for when I'm losing my power. So when I'm snarky, when I'm angry, when I'm sad, I've lost power. So what is it that you're buying or believing in that is getting you to lose your center? And that's this unconscious belief because it's hidden. Everybody keeps it like under there, because it's a childish thing. You're loyal to your childish dreams and your childish feelings. Yeah. So I'm giving you the power of understanding. So when you get snarky or depressed, you have to go, oh, here's that unconscious program that I blindly and loyally follow, and then it affects my experience, makes me unintelligent in my experience. Okay, you're not being unconscious. I'm making you conscious now. I don't have a loyalty to this dumb idea. I'm not going to pack it in with all this emotional stuff. Yeah. I'm not going to feed it emotionally. I'm not giving my power and feeding it with all this energy of all these emotions for something that is not true. Yeah. I'm stop feeding it. When you stop feeding it, you're just present in relationship. That's called recognizing and releasing the contraction. Yeah, you're bound to that idea and you're suffering that idea and you're loyal to that idea and you feed that idea. You stop feeding the idea, what's going to occur? You're going to experience freedom. You're going to say, well, I know how to experience doing, what I have to do in this life, but I never knew what it is to experience actual freedom. So, I know what it is to do a good job at my job. I know what it is to be kind to James. I know all this stuff, but you don't know what it is to be free because you haven't gathered your power profoundly enough to experience it yet. It's really, you might have had some intuition, some dreams of it, but what if that was to be your everyday actual experience? It's a funny thing. Being completely free is fulfilling. But it doesn't count on any experience. So you're looking in the wrong place for the thing that actually is true, and you linked it up with experience instead, and ignoring that actual experience has no fulfillment in it because you're given a program of being younger that it should be. Yeah. And you have a real opportunity for real freedom and to wake up. So, but this is where you have to gather your power and stop feeding that little childish unconscious, with all your emotions. You're feeding it. So being angry is feeding it. Being depressed is feeding it. Being happily related and doing your obligations, that's not feeding it. And a funny thing happens when you don't feed it. Your natural boundless freedom becomes evident to you, and you're like, can't even imagine why you bound it up with trying to make this girl make you happy, or this music make you happy, or some experience just somehow building you up and making you feel safe and happy. Actually, real freedom is never feeling safe. It's feeling boundless. Feeling safe is unhappy because everything changes and disappears. And what does it disappear to? The light. What does it arise from? The light. So it's all the light. And what's the most attractive thing to see and be and recognize? The light.